Hello everybody, it's Marcia from One Scrap at a Time, and I am back today with another scrapbook process video for My Creative Scrapbook. So today I'm using the July main kit from My Creative Scrapbook, and this is my second layout that I have created with the kit. So for this layout, I wanted to concentrate on that lemon paper. I thought I would use a cut file that has lemons on it. So I cut this out very big to go in the middle of my layout. And I cut it out of white. And I wasn't very happy with the fact that the outside was white. I wanted it to be yellow and I wanted the leaves to be green. But it's kind of hard to do that with the cut file unless you layer. And so I thought what I would do is some watercoloring on here instead. So I'm using some distress inks, and these are distress oxide inks, and you just put a little bit down on a media mat and then you can just paint it on. I'm using an H2O pen here to do mine, but you could also just use a regular paintbrush and just spray it with a little water to mix it and just paint it on then. To get a little more shading in here, I actually, after I was done with this first coat, I went back and I combined the fossil amber with this, I think it's the marmalade. So I have a yellow and an orange combination, and that just made a darker shade of yellow so that I could go and add some subtle shading here in places that should be more shadowed. The bottom side of the fruit, underside of the leaves, I did some more shading with two tones of green. So now I can go in and piece in the inside part of my lemon. So I used the yellow pattern paper with the dots to do that. It's just the back side of the pink lemon paper that I'm going to use on my main layout. And it worked really well to back it with that. It had that consistent yellow color that I was going for. I didn't want to use the gingham yellow that's also part of this kit. I wanted it to be more yellow. So once I have this on here, I am ready to start my layout. So my thought was I would do some tearing of the pattern paper and layer the gingham yellow pattern paper that you see here with the pink paper that has the lemons on it. So I want to do this on both sides. So I am actually ripping another one here. So one thing to remember when you're tearing the paper, you can see that if I tear it toward me, then the left side is going to have that white core of the pattern paper show. So it depends on if you like seeing the white or if you would rather just see the pattern paper. So I wanted to see the white core of the paper. So when I tore my paper, I was doing it purposely so that I would see more of the white. It gives a nice variation between the two pattern papers to have that white stand out just a little bit. And then so on the other side, I'm trying to figure out how much of the paper that I want there so I can cut it. And then on this side, it's just pink. I don't see the white core at all. So I'm going to have to go back and tear this one so that it matches the left side. It's also a little bit too wide, what I have on the right, so if I tear it, it will match more the left side better. So after I finish tearing this paper, I am ready to start playing around with design placement where I want my photo and bring in some other pieces I thought I would like to use on this layout. So the photo I am using is one of me on a Hawaiian vacation my husband and I took. I want to say possibly up to 5 years ago. And we went, I think, in February. I just know it was cold here in Minnesota. And we spent some time on Oahu and then the rest of the time on Kauai. And when we were on Kauai, it rained every day. But I was determined that I was not going to stay in my hotel room. My husband just simply napped. He can sleep whenever, wherever. I was going to go out by the pool, and so I sat out there. I think I was the only one out there, wrapped up in a towel and in my swimsuit, and I had free Mai Tais from the hotel, and sat under an umbrella and read a book, or tried to read a book. And you know what? That was still better than a cold day here in Minnesota. Um, it was a nice vacation. It was a nice getaway. Hopefully, we can go back and have better weather, though. Um, so, I am starting to adhere down my pattern paper here, and I had to make sure I leave room that I can tuck that yellow gingham paper in underneath on the edges. You saw me fussy cutting out earlier. There's a journal card with a lemon on it um, that I was determined I was going to use on this layout, but I didn't like the blue background. So I fussy cut it out so you can't see the blue background anymore. And then I can just layer it on my layout as another like ephemera piece. So before I start though, I wanted to splatter in some ink here so that it would show up behind my cut file. And I want to make sure I do this before I have any photos on here. It's a lot easier to do the ink splatters before you go and add a bunch of ephemera and pictures that you worry about getting ink splatters on. On the back of this cut file, I'm recycling some chipboard from a chipboard sticker sheet. Just the chipboard that's left over once you use all the stickers. I like to put behind some of my cut files or photos to give them a little bit more support, and then I add some foam tape so they can pop up from the background, and this really helps save me from using too much foam tape. You can see I've also done it on my photo here. So I am adhering my photo down also at the same depth as my lemon cut file. So I had to be sure not to do any foam on the left side here that will be overlapping the cut file. So that's why you saw me putting some glue down on that one side. So this lemon cut file, I don't think I told you where I found this. There is an Etsy store called Handy Paper, and the owner, Ina, has done some design work for Click Kits, and she's also designed some collections, I think, for Pinkfresh Studios. And she has the most gorgeous cut files in her Etsy store. And I had seen these lemons in her store before, but just never had an occasion to use them. But when I saw this lemon paper that's in this kit, I thought that's the perfect cut file. That's just what I need. So here you see me, I'm grabbing the Easy Peasy foam titles, and I want to place them right on top of my cut file. And I have my fussy cut out lemon on here as well. So I'm trying to pull in some more of the lemon related ephemera pieces and the chipboard stickers. So there was a lot of lemons, lemonade, lemonade stand, that kind of thing. So it was not hard to go through and find ephemera pieces related to lemons. I did want to add flowers on here as well because there were some flowers in the cut file, and I covered one up there with squeeze the day lemon ephemera piece. But I wanted to also look for more that I could possibly put up on here. So I'm just playing around. I like the sunglasses because that adds to the outdoor vacation feeling on the layout. And of course, there's tons of lemons in this collection. So I am just moving everything around. Sometimes I think I am the most indecisive scrapbooker ever. I keep moving things from here to there and all over the place. But there comes a time where sometimes I just have to tell myself, okay, it's time to start sticking stuff down on my page. So I decided I didn't want the lemonade stuck in my ephemera cluster by my photo because I'm not drinking lemonade, I'm drinking a Mai Tai. It's one of those kind of days. So I pulled out the drink instead. So there's this pink drink in here with a lemon in it, and it might be lemonade, it might be something different, but I decided that was probably a better piece to use than the picture of lemonade. So I stuck that down, and I am adhering down some lemon stickers, and there is a phrase here, better under the sun. And I thought, I like that too. I'm going to stick it on my photo. And I had to cut this in pieces to do that. I didn't want to leave this phrase as it was. It was too long. So I like it better cut. So then I decided I got to get rid of the lemonade stand. We're not drinking lemonade here. We're drinking a Mai Tai. And I like that much better too. So we'll just keep the phrase icon here, and we'll put a cluster of lemons up at the top as well. So this is really starting to come together rather well. I like what I am seeing. So My Creative Scrapbook really does an awesome job when they put their kits together. So this kit featured the Summer Farmhouse collection from Simple Stories. They also have a creative kit, a limited edition kit for more of the shabby chic scrapbooker, and then they have an album kit as well. So there's really something for every kind of scrapbooker that you could be. So please go check them out. It really is a wonderful deal to have a kit sent to you every month. It's like Christmas every month. I love receiving mail. Check them out, definitely. So I'm putting the finishing touches now on my layout, sticking a few more things on here. I want to thank you so much for stopping by, and if you like what you see, be sure to hit the subscribe button at the end. Thanks now. Bye bye.